This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by Robert Garcia down here in London today. Robert, been a busy man lately. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
That's good to hear. Let's start why we're here. Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, the rematch. They've done a lot of media recently, spent a lot of time around each other. Do you think fighters take anything from things like this, or is it all just part of the job?
No, it's part of the job. They're supposed to have 8 weeks, a little bit less than 8 weeks before the fight, so it's plenty of time to go and concentrate on training camp. We've been doing it for a few weeks already, and we still got plenty of time. So there's no problem doing this. We have to do it, and it's something that the champions, the fighters know about it. It's a huge fight, so they have to go through this.
You've worked with 14 world champions. Been waiting to see you working with a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua. How have you found it? What's been the difference working with a heavyweight?
You know what? It's a big challenge. Obviously, I've worked with heavyweights before, but never had a heavyweight champion of the world. And this is the hunger that I have to have a heavyweight champion of the world. So I'm doing my job, doing the best I can to prepare him to come up with the win. Myself and Angel Fernandez are working together, and we're both on the same page. We're not working against each other. We're working to do the right job and to get the win.
I want to ask you about, your first impressions of seeing AJ. I'm sure it's much different from seeing him on the TV, etc. What stood out to you in terms of his best attributes after seeing him up close and working with him?
You know what? He's a great person, great human being. He's a lovely person, friendly with everybody. But inside the ring, I didn't know him personally, but he's hungry. He's hungry to, especially coming off a loss. He's hungry to become champion again, and he's doing that in the gym. And come day fight, that's what he needs to do. He needs to go out and do what we trained for, 3 months to go out and do it inside the ring. So he's ready for it.
A lot of people have maybe been oversimplifying what he has to do in this fight. People saying he just needs to be more aggressive, he needs to close the distance, etc. But is it about finding that balance, not being reckless and getting picked off?
Well, you know what? From the outside, that's what everybody believes, and yes, even me watching the fight, that's what I think he needs to do. But now that I'm working with him, Anthony has great reach, great jab, great straight right hand. So we could also use those punches. We could also fight, not box, but fight on the outside. We don't have to fight on the inside. We don't have to brawl to win this fight. I think we just have to fight a smart fight, a smart, aggressive fight.
People were saying that making changes was the first big step for AJ to kind of turning this around. When you guys first talked and tried out working together, what did you kind of notice in him? Was there that hunger to just put this right at all costs?
You know what? The first time we met, obviously, I met with the whole team, and Angel Fernandez was one of the persons that I met and stayed in touch with, and the ideas that he had were very similar to the way I work. So that's why I think we were able to make a good team. But the first day that I met AJ, he told me what he wanted and what he needed, and I got up. We both got up. I showed him a few things that I felt he needed, and he agreed to them. And now I'm here. I'm doing my job, and getting him ready to become a 3-time champion of the world.
Just a word on Bam, another spectacular win at the weekend, an absolute superstar Matchroom's got in their hands here. You must have been absolutely delighted. How do you sum up that performance?
You know what? That was a great performance. The kid is special. I knew that since the beginning. Kimi and Mr. Honda and Taking Promotions knew that since his pro debut. Now we teamed up with Matchroom, and we're just going to do a great job with this kid. There's so many big fights out there for him, but we also got to take our time. He's only 22 years old, and he already beating two legends in the sport. But we also have to be patient. There's no rush. The kid's 22. We got a great future ahead of him. With the right team, with Matchroom and Taking Promotions. I think the sky. It's just it's unbelievable what this kid could accomplish.
You worked with some great fighters. Talent-wise, where does he rank in terms of pure talent?
You know what? I said it since day one, and some of the people from different TV networks called me right after the fight and told me, you know what? You've been saying this for years, and you were right. I've always said, Jesse might be the best, the most talented fighter that I've ever worked with. I've worked with welterweights, fighters that have made huge paydays, but talking about talent, I think Jesse is one of the most talented fighters I've worked with.
Just a word on Mikey. Mikey updated his Instagram bio, had a lot of people talking, changed it to say he's retired now. Do you know any more than us about that?
You know what? I've been up here since that came out, but we already knew that. Since his last fight, he didn't really want to do it. He didn't really want to be in that fight, and the results were exactly what not necessarily we didn't expect it, but we kind of figured something sooner than later that was going to happen. Mikey, it looks like he lost a lot for the sport, and he accomplished a lot. 4-division champion, 5-time champion of the world. Very few can say they accomplished that. So we're very proud of Mikey. Very happy that now he's retired and he's going to enjoy his family and the rest of his life.
That's it. I suppose he's one of the few fighters that manages to get away at a good time, financially secure a great legacy to leave behind. Not many get to say they can do that.
Exactly. Mikey was very smart with his money, invested his money right. He works his money very smart, and he's going to continue working, in his new chapter of his life, and get to enjoy his kids, his wife, friends, family, and all his loved ones.
Robert, thank you very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Good luck.